Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. So the new table saw is up and running, but I really need my sleds in order. So that's what we're going to work on. I'm probably going to work on this one slowly put this video together, because I'm not going to work all day on just sleds. Today I really need my panel sled. I have a couple of client cutting boards that I'm doing, and I need my sled to work on those. So this one is fairly easy because there's only one runner, so it's just a matter of clipping a little bit here off of the end. These other ones with two runners, they'll either have to have those runners moved, or I'll have to rebuild the sleds, or just take them one at a time as they come. My other jigs for the over the fence stuff, I'm going to wait until Powermatic gets my new side plates for the fence, and then we'll go at building those jigs as well. But I'm going to encapsulate all that in one video so you can see all the sleds all in one go. Okay, so next up is my crosscut sled. I put the sled on here. I pulled the old runners off. I put the sled on here, and I'm using my fence to get me as close to square as I can possibly kit. I'll still use William Eng's 5-cut method to see if I need to true up the fence, but this should get me pretty close to start with. I'm also replacing the original runners that were on this sled with the new HDPE plastic. And I went ahead and cut these to a rough length, pre-drilled them, got some pilots in them, and I also roughed up the backs a little bit so that the super glue would stick a little bit better. I've also laid pennies down in the tracks to lift those runners up just a little bit. So now all I'm going to do is get some glue on these, set the sled back on. Also, I sanded the bottom of the sled because it had been waxed quite a bit over the years. So I wanted to get all that wax off of there so that this glue would stick. I only need this glue to stick long enough to get the sled back off the table and get some screws in it. I'm just going to set a little weight on there. And I'm going to let that just sit for a little while. I'm not in a hurry. Okay, so all I'm going to do is just pre-pilot drill these just a little bit, not to go all the way through, and drive a screw. Be sure not to over tighten, because this HDPE will spread out and make it hard to slide in your grooves. Okay, and of course everything gets a good coat of wax. Make everything slide nicely. And I'll be pretty liberal with the wax. And make sure those runners get a good coat. Okay, and just like that we got a good sled. Slides well, I'm happy with it. It's a little snug still, but I think that'll wear in over time. And it's got no wiggle. So Next up, we're going to do William Ing's 5-cut method and see if we're square. Okay, so I marked my front and my back, so if I had to make a correction, I knew where to go. All I did was follow William Ing's method, and I really suggest you check out his video. Measure each side, 93. I'll measure this side, yeah, and I get 89. So I'm 4/1000ths off over almost 15 inches. That's certainly close enough for me to live with. Okay, so I forgot to turn my mic on. I've got pennies in the slots. The runners are pre-drilled, ready to go. I've put some glue on them, and the difference in this one is I'm using this tri-square to find that 45-degree angle. My distance from my fence to the outside of this plywood bed is identical all the way. So I can use my fence and just find that 45, get it glued down, and just let it sit for a little while, let that glue set up good, and then I'll go ahead and take it out and attach the rails just like I did on the crosscut sled. Okay, just like we did on the other sled, I'm just going to pilot these just a little bit and drive the screws. Okay, and a quick test cut shows that sled is dead on and back up and functioning for this saw. Okay, so that takes care of my 3 primary sleds. I still have some over the fence stuff to do. I have the tenon jig, which I don't use all that often, but I'm sure glad for it when I do. And then my corner mitering, my spline jig. I use this quite a bit, so I need to remake this one as well. Both of these will be completely remade. And of course I have a couple of sacrificial fences that I use as well. So as soon as my new plates come in for that fence and I get those installed, we'll go ahead and build these. So catch you guys in probably a couple of weeks.